South Africa and Morocco have had a long and fruitful football history. Both countries have had successful national teams, and both have produced some exceptional players. The first South African team played in Morocco back in 1909, and both teams strengthened their relationship over the years. The two countries are now among the most formidable competitors in the African Cup of Nations competition. Since 1996, the teams have met each other 5 times, with South Africa winning 4 of those games. Their rivalry continues to this day, with both sides keen to take the upper hand. In their last meeting in 2015, they ended in a tense 0-0 draw. While the national teams have faced each other on numerous occasions, Moroccan and South African clubs have met in friendly tournaments in recent times. In 2017, Al Ahly Tripoli from Libya and Baya Misathu from South Africa were the finalists of the Morocco Cup. South African teams have had mixed successes in the competition, with the Mamelodi Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs having successful campaigns in the past. The two countries have also had close ties when it comes to footballers. Players such as Stephen Pienaar and Benny McCarthy have been successful for both countries. The intense rivalry between the two countries creates an exciting atmosphere each time they facing each other. Friendly matches have often been played out with great enthusiasm. For Morocco, many of its best players, such as Karim Benzema and Nourdine Amrabat, have had successful careers in Europe, while South Africa has also had international successes, such as those of Lucas Radebe and Delroy Buckley. Morocco and South Africa have been producing some of the finest players in the continent, and both countries share a close bond in football. South African football has been greatly influenced by Moroccan football over the years. Clubs like Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, two of the most successful teams in Africa, have been heavily inspired by Moroccan soccer. In recent times, the game of football in both countries has been on the rise. Both countries have become increasingly competitive in the African Cup of Nations competition as well as other international tournaments. South Africa is the reigning champion in the African Cup of Nations, while Morocco have performed admirably in recent tournaments. The two countries have also seen an increase in interest in their respective domestic leagues, with South African teams now beginning to make waves in the CAF Champions League. Morocco and South Africa are two of the strongest teams in the continent, and they continue to play competitive football in a variety of tournaments. The national teams of both countries have met each other in several instances in both competitive and friendly matches. South Africa has emerged victorious in most of these fixtures, having won 4 out of 5 games. The clubs of the countries have also held friendly tournaments, with Al Ahly Tripoli from Libya and Baya Misathu from South Africa being the champions of the Morocco Cup in 2017. South African teams have also been successful in the competition, with Mamelodi Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs being two of the most prominent winners. South Africa and Morocco have produced some of the finest players in African football. Notable stars from both countries include Stephen Pienaar, Benny McCarthy, Karim Benzema, Nourdine Amrabat, Lucas Radebe, and Delroy Buckley. The intense rivalry between Morocco and South Africa is one of the most exciting rivalries in African football. Every time the two teams meet, supporters are guaranteed a highly competitive and entertaining game. South African football has been greatly influenced by its Moroccan counterpart, evident in the success of Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates in recent times. The game of football in both countries is gaining more and more popularity each day. Moroccan and South African teams are now competing strongly in international tournaments and leagues. South Africa is the current African Cup of Nations champion, while Morocco have consistently performed well in recent tournaments. South Africa and Morocco have a long and fruitful football history, and both countries have produced some amazing players over the years that are now playing in top international teams. In addition, the two countries have had several competitions, both friendly and competitive, which have kept their rivalry alive.